Hey, Finnegan here, and I'm here at the Goat in Long Buckley, a place that's long been championing live music. And with us today we have Rustic Dream, who we're playing it. Nice to meet you guys. How's it going?
It's alright. Best as always.
Obviously, this is the Goat plays has a lot of live music. So how important do you think venues like this for yourselves as artists, but also importantly for the audience as well?
Anywhere that hosts music, or especially live music, is basically being part of the community, because there's nobody that just likes music. So it might not be the genre you like, but it's going to be something you like at some point. You need to invest in.
Yeah, and also as an artist, it's important to play different venues and kind of have different experience. Now, obviously, the Goat is known as a cozy venue, and it can be quite intimate, as you can hear a lot of the audience in the background now. But how are the different venues that you find? Do you find a more intimate venue like this helps you connect with the audience more, or do you find different experiences in different places?
It's definitely venues, different experience, isn't it?
Yeah, I think it's like a daytime gig. The smaller the pub restaurant is usually quite nicer. In an evening, when there's a lot of people, a bigger venue also there's quite an atmosphere, a nice atmosphere.
Yeah, because we tend to tailor our set to the venue. So if it's an evening set, for example, and they want that atmosphere, we'll bring the bangers or the louder things. So something like today, we'll do something a bit more stripped back. Still able to sing along, still able to interact, but definitely more relaxed vibes than, say, the party atmosphere. So,
would you say that having the audience interaction is a major part of your performance? Or do you think is that a must?
yeah, it's good to know how it's being received as you're going, rather than having a completely stoic audience and not knowing if they're actually enjoying it or not. It's even with the children, it's nice to have the clapping along and the singing along rather than just being stared at the whole time.
Do you find that's consistent across the venues that you play? Are the audience, because I've been speaking to a lot of American folk artists that apparently, obviously it's country and folk are getting big over here, so a lot of American artists come over here, and they found that a lot of audiences are quite stoic and just will sit there, even though they're enjoying the show. They're not sure if they're allowed to interact with them.
You do get that quite often, where people just sit and watch. Not even clapping or anything, they just sit. And then at the end, they go, "Oh, I really enjoyed that."
Did you?
Sure.
You show it next time then, yeah?
So we don't mind, because like I said, it is hard to know when you're allowed to film, but if it's a venue where we've played a few times, then obviously we'll probably say something like, "Well, we want to hear you join in." But if there's somewhere new, we don't necessarily know if that's what the pub wants either. So it's all just down to communication.
And Rachel always says, if they don't like us, they'll walk out. And we don't get that often. So
it's always good.
It's just the people that do, bless them, say, "It's not because of you, we've got to put a reservation." And that always makes us laugh, because you think, "Oh, bless you for clarifying," because it didn't just mean because you didn't like what you hear.
But obviously, being a musician and putting yourself out there, you've got to have some, kind of layer of tough skin, even just to stand on stage. It can be terrifying to most people. But
this is scary.
Well, that was going to be my ask. Is this terrifying for you? Are you secretly, nervous every time you go on, or is there a quiet confidence?
It's not secretly. We're just.
I'm usually, if I'm behind a guitar, I'm quite comfortable. I haven't got my guitar with me right this second, so not as comfortable. But that's why I let Rachel do most of the talking.
She doesn't like it. She doesn't like it.
So do you find that you there's a layer of masking, isn't there? These days, it's almost like the ultra version of yourselves, aren't there? Is that true? So as soon as we step on that stage and we'll see you perform, you're slightly someone else.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
People can say to me, particularly, that's for me, and you're a completely different person.
Oh, wow.
It's gone.
We'll have to watch out for that on Sunday.
Whatever it is that's making me nervous is gone by then, but I don't know about you, because you've been doing it a lot longer than I have.
Yeah, as long as I'm here behind the guitar, it's cool, amazing.
So obviously today, when you start playing, what can the audience expect from you? Are we going to have some covers? What type of genres?
Yeah, all of it will be covers. We haven't quite gotten into originals just yet. We've been thinking about them. But it's you'll get a sense of familiarity, but there will be a sense of newness. So you'll hear something you know, but you'll be like, oh, I like what we've done, or hopefully you'll like what we've done with that. Just to keep it more rustic breathing. I suppose we like to make it our own.
We have a set list, but depending on how the audience is going, sometimes that set will change as it goes on. Like it's like a new song, like
or like you read the room and you're like, we're not going to want that. Or definitely not want today.
So you said about keeping it Rustic Dream, which is obviously the name of that. So can you give us a backstory about? Is there a long, detailed story of why you called Rustic Dream, or is?
Well, our original plan was always to do the music we loved, but strip it right back. So you'll hear like Linkin Park and I made it from us, depending on the language. It will be raw because it's literally just me and you on the guitar, the occasional. So it's still familiar enough you can sing along. It won't be so changed that you're like, what have you done with this song? Because nobody likes it.
Well, I mean, I think that's the sign of a good, well-run song, isn't it? Is being able to strip it back to those kind of the bare bones and still kind of hear it, which is fantastic. And it's nice to have that kind of broad genre, especially for the different audiences that you're playing. So, you mentioned that you have been talking about writing. Can you see that in the near future? Can you see something?
I think so. It's having the time now. Everybody wants you like playing different venues for most weekends.
We're so grateful, but we're so tired.
So like, shall we get together to write some stuff? Like, I got a gig coming up this weekend. Let's go for that one.
Or if we have got the rare weekend off, we don't want to do anything.
Yeah.
And that's not a complaint.
Yeah,
it's never
performing or writing like mid-song while you're singing on stage.
Really, and I prefer performing. I like being on stage. That's
we like what we get back from it. So we like what people say. We like how people react. We like people are just happy.
Yeah,
because it's what you need.
So do yourself if you obviously if this gets busy and busy, and you already seem like you have a well planned out couple of weeks. You seem to be a lot of different venues looking at your future performances. So you are getting busier already. So do you still see yourself moving into this as a full-time thing, or is that still? Do you still want to keep it close to where you are now?
I think we're quite happy keeping it as a hobby. We don't want to see it as work. So weekend
enjoyment.
Yeah, weekend enjoyment. Our set list is forever growing, so it's not like it's the same old all the time, which is nice. So there is always an expansion, but not necessarily into full-time.
Yeah, I think while the gigs come in, that's quite nice. If it was our full-time job, we'd really get hunt for them gigs.
Yeah, it's nice to have the choices.
Yeah.
But could you see yourself doing a stage at a festival?
We did a few local ones, and that vibe was lovely. So anything bigger would be great because we've applied for a few country festivals because a lot of the stripping back we do, it ends up sounding very country.
Yeah.
But people like that because if they're not necessarily country fans, but they like this song, they again say, "Oh, we like what you've done with that."
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
I think it was our version of Ace of Spades, wasn't it? Sounded very Layla sounded very country.
No, but as I was talking to you off camera beforehand, and obviously I've covered the long road and stuff, and I can almost seeing your stuff, kind of see you in the country barns and the smaller porches that they've got.
In October, we opened for a Nashville band called Lost Hollow, and they found us online with exactly that intent, like.
That's fantastic.
The lady that approached us just said, "We've seen your stuff. We think you'd be perfect for opening," and it went down incredibly well. Just telling everybody about us, and we're ever so grateful to her.
So the future is you're busy as you are. But you're quite as long as it's all about the music, you're going to push it forward.
Yeah. A couple of years down the line, we want to just tour. I'm happy to step out and do a tour, have a break from work. Still got that to work.
With them because they were a boss. They felt like family.
Yeah.
Oh, that's always a good sign when you kind of connect with other artists, especially going on. So if they're already reaching out to you, I can kind of see an interesting 2026 ahead then for this for Rustic. So, I know we're short of time, and you've actually got to perform right on the stage behind us. So thanks for taking the time to talk to me. Hopefully we'll hear from you again along the future.
You never know, I might be back at the go.
Exactly.
Tell your friends.